Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is who cares? The question is being posed, who cares? And it's somewhat incomplete uh, because we all care about something. So, to complete that question and actually make it a point of interest specifically, we would have to say, who cares about what? We would have to fill in the blank, so to speak. So, to fill in that blank, we're going to discuss um, concern on a particular topic. Okay. So, what today's broadcast is concerning is basically who cares about doing positive things in our community. All right. Um, it's of interest to me to know uh, like-minded people. Okay. So people that are doing something totally different than what you're doing in life, it doesn't really interest you. You don't really care about those. Uh, it's not that you don't care about the people as a person, but you don't find it amusing, entertaining, or pleasurable to be around people that don't have the same interests that you do. All right. A lot of times, um, couples, people in relationships have a lot of problems because they may be attracted to one another physically, okay? But the reason they are unable to bond is because they find out later on in the relationship that they have too many differences. They have too many things um, that are opposing. They have opposing views about, and so it creates a lot of friction in the relationship. Now, some people say opposites attract, and that is very much so the truth. But even in the cases where people are attracted that are totally opposite from one another, they have found a common ground of caring enough for one another that they merge because and they blend so well because they begin to complement one another. Where one is missing or not too good in a particular area, the other one compensates for that, um, and they are able to compromise, but they still have a common ground of caring enough about one another and caring enough about the relationship and caring for the person, you know, enough to look at their differences as a blessing, so to speak. For example, um, I was married for a short time with someone who was very nonchalant, somewhat. Okay, and I am a very high-strong person. Okay, meaning I overly care about certain things. Overly care, all right? I will cry. Y'all don't laugh at me, but I will cry over a movie. Even though I know it's a movie, I will cry. I will seriously be sitting there in tears over something in a movie, okay? Because I'm very sensitive and I'm overly caring, and my husband will look at me and just start laughing, and that really tickled him, okay? And but in some cases, when I would, really care about a situation and something is being someone is being mistreated or something like that, and I'll go to react because I'm a fighter too. Uh, he would pull me back. Okay, he would try to get me to calm down. Okay, and say, that's we need to stay out of that. He would say, don't, I know that bothers you, but we need to stay out of that because you don't want to get in no trouble and stuff. So, in that regard, the differences between us, sometimes I would get over exhausted with my business and stuff, and sometimes he would say, babe, you need to just chill. You've been working too hard. And we had this code. He would say, babe, you being ridiculous. And when he tell me I'm being ridiculous, that was kind of our little code word to let me know that I'm going too far. All right. And I needed to just chill out about whatever, because I'm very, like I said, I'm very high strung. When I care about something, or if I'm into something, I'm in it wholeheartedly. So I don't really have boundaries. I will overwork myself and get overly emotional about certain things, stuff like that. So he would help me in that area. Okay. So I said all that is just to explain how people can have differences of things that they actually care about. Now, for him, he was very nonchalant. But if you mess with him while he's watching this football game, he would care a whole lot about that. He cared a whole lot about that. He didn't play his football because he was an ex football player, but and he still, of course, had a lot of interest in football, even though he wasn't even playing no more. But he had he loved football, and he was also, as well, he was an alcoholic. So if you mess with his beer, he really cared about that. Okay, so the reason our relationship didn't work out is that I began to notice that although he helped me to be more balanced in being overly caring about things, the problem that I had with him was that he was too nonchalant and not caring about things. And he was always trying to get me to not care, but I couldn't get him to start caring about certain things that was of importance. Okay. So there wasn't a give and take there. All right. And that's what causes a lot of problems in relationships where you have opposites and people that don't have concern for the same issues. Okay. Because when there's not a give and take, then that creates a problem because the relationship is unbalanced. Okay. And when there's an imbalance, the word imbalance itself denotes a problem. Okay. Because anything that's balanced, when we think of the word balance, we think of is fixed, is okay, is working properly, okay, or is there's nothing wrong, okay, or out of place, okay. So even in justice, they use the scales, and they say the scales of justice, and because whenever there's a balance of, say, for example, there's an injustice and the uh, judge rules justly, that means it was balanced, and you don't sentence a person to 5 years in prison for running a red light. That would be an imbalance of justice. So and vice versa, someone that has committed a very horrifying crime, a mass killing of some sort. So you don't give them probation, you know, a slap on the wrist and probation, okay? And this is the reason why a lot of people are upset about the police killing, because there's either no reprimand being given to the officers who are perpetrating these crimes, or either the punishment is not even considered a punishment, because they are either being taken off the job, but with pay, so they're being paid to do wrong, so to speak. So this is why people are wanting to fight for the injustice or the imbalance in justice in those cases. This is not about that. So I was just using that as an example. But I want to know, I really want to know who cares, okay? Because I've noticed that online here, you have a lot of people who are indulging in a lot of negative things. From what I've gathered, and I love to research things, and I love to study people and their behaviors. And from what I've found is that a lot of the 99 percenters are doing nothing. And I'm sure that whatever it is that they are doing, to them, it may seem like something. So let me clarify what I mean by they're doing nothing. What I mean by the 99 percenters are doing nothing is they are doing nothing productive towards the changes in the things that they complain about or they disapprove of, or say, for example, they are unhappy in their financial status. A lot of the 99% is, from what I noticed, are not doing anything to remedy that. So that when I say that they're not doing anything, I don't mean that they're not doing anything at all. What I mean by they're not doing anything towards remedying, remedies to, or solutions, practical solutions to the problems that they face in life. That's what I mean by they're not doing anything. I've seen a lot of 99 percenters indulge in video games. A lot of their time is being placed in indulging in video games. And of course, that has no value, no positive outcome in that regard. Another thing that I've noticed about a lot of 99 percenters is that if they're not indulging in video games, they're indulging in something else, perhaps gambling, or perhaps just arguing back and forth online. I noticed a lot of arguing. Is election time, and everyone's in a frenzy about who the next president's going to be, and so people are arguing back and forth concerning the presidency. But has anyone ever stopped to think about how in the hell do you realistically think that who you vote for is gonna change anything when you have, even if they really actually counted the votes? For those of you, I'm just gonna indulge those that believe that they actually count the votes. All right. It's a little hard for me because I know that that's not reality, but we'll just indulge you for 1 second, okay? But even if they did actually count the votes, have you ever thought about that? Whatever you believe in or whatever you think is right, when you cast your vote in, even if they did go by votes, like it probably used to a long time ago, but nowadays, even if they did count your votes, please tell me, why haven't you thought about the fact that in order for whatever whatever you think whatever type of legislation you think needs to be passed and things need to be done concerning different issues, that even if after you vote for that person would have to keep their word, and well, and also the president the president alone cannot make decisions. This is not a dictatorship. So the president alone cannot make decisions. They have to have Congress to get in on everything. Everybody be on one accord, or the majority rule, whatever. This is the bullshit that they have presented to people to make them think that their vote counts. And it's even difficult for me to even try to ration with this because I know that votes don't count. So I'm doing the best I can to try to bring some sense to it, because it just makes no sense. It makes no sense. Even if you vote a person in, you got to understand the rest of the world has to agree with you, or at least by majority. So if you could magically get the majority of the world, I mean not the world, the U.S. to agree with you, or whatever country you're in, if you can get the rest of the people as a whole, or a majority to agree with you, even to just vote someone in office, you still have the next step of each legislation or laws being passed or introduced. There you still have to start that process all over again of getting people to agree. All right. Yeah. So for each individual issue that's brought up, people will have to agree. And from what I have seen in the past week, do people even watch or pay attention to history? Over the course of time in history, no matter what you wanted, You have seen uh, government offices pass laws and legislate things that you don't agree with. All right. The reason they do this is because they know that a lot of people aren't realistically considering a lot of things. All right. When people say we ought to, this is a good example, they ought to just cut off welfare. We need to stop paying for welfare. All right. All right. Now, I understand why you saying that this is an answer to everything. It's mainly because you don't know shit. Okay. You don't understand nothing about economy. All right. If you're a person that's saying cut off welfare, you don't know anything about economy. Okay. First of all, if the government was to cut off welfare today or tomorrow, guess what would happen? We would have a massive, massive amount of people homeless. We would have I'm talking about massive devastation in our economy, because you would not only have a bunch of people homeless, you would have a bunch of people hungry, you would have a bunch of people, a large percentage of people in a very desolate and desperate situation. That alone spells chaos. All right? Because when people are desperate, especially when they ain't got, they ain't got nothing to lose. You done took their homes, you done took their, because welfare pays for all this. You done took their homes, you done took their livelihood. Now you're going to have a bunch of desperate people, and all those of you who are sitting comfortably in your homes and you riding your high horses, guess what? You will have a massive amount of people breaking into your home to get food, or breaking into your, even if a person breaking into your home in the wintertime and sneak in your garage just to get warmth from the weather, even though you may think, oh, they breaking in, that's against the law, it's wrong. But you think it's against the law for a human being not to freeze to death? Gee, y'all don't think. Y'all not thinking. It's not realistic to say cut off welfare. This is why people in government offices don't listen to y'all, okay? This is why your vote don't count. Because they know you ain't got sense enough to know that welfare keeps the economy flowing. There are a lot of businesses that will go out of business if they stop welfare. People on welfare are getting money. So people on welfare, when they're getting that money, what are they doing with that money when they get it? They're spending it. Where are they spending it? They're spending it in the stores, purchasing things. All right. Paying for rent, paying for electricity, paying for things just like everyone else pays for things. Poor people have to pay for things too. All right. So if we were to cease from distributing welfare, that would be a massive breakdown in the economy. All right. Because people are, there are a lot of people that are self-employed. There are a lot of people that own companies. Guess what? People on welfare patronize these companies. All right. Apple certainly isn't gonna be in agreement with cutting off welfare, and I'll tell you why. Now, it's horrible as it is to say this, and it's just ridiculously It's just a ridiculous truth, but it's the truth. And then y'all know I keep it real. I have seen a lot of poor people with iPhones. Okay, now these poor people are spending a lot of money to have these expensive phones. But the truth of the matter is, if that's what they saving their money or gathering up their money to buy, the point I'm trying to make is that yes, it's horrible indeed that they are spending money that they should be paying their light bill with or paying for their rent with, and they're bad managers of money. But the truth of the matter is, Apple wouldn't agree with you with cutting off welfare because they already know that the poor people are scraping to buy iPhones. They know where their money coming from. All right. People that have money like me, babe, I don't have no iPhone. I got a old ass Nokia phone. It works. I have all the technology I need on this sucker. So I don't care about having the latest, newest, or whatever. But people that are poor, they are already, their self-esteem is very low. Okay. Their value, they get a lot of their value from the things that they purchase. Okay. So it makes them feel good that when they're around other people with income, with substantial incomes, to whip out their iPhones, it makes them feel good. Now, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. Somebody was saying the other day that parents should teach their kids this, and they should do this, and they should do that. And I hate to birth people bubble. Let me stop lying. I love to birth people bubbles. But I hate to burst your bubble, hon, but there's a big difference between what should be and what is. And if you want to be realistic, we can't deal with what should be and how it should be. We should love one another. We should be caring enough for our neighbors. We should share. We should do the right thing by one another. We should take care of our planet. We should do a lot of damn things. But that's not realistic. The reality of the situation is this, that we don't. Okay, that's the reality. Okay, the way things should be, okay, I can accept and I can agree with a lot of things when people say things should be this way. But can you agree with me that things aren't? The reality, we need to deal with things, with the situation the way it is. All right, not the way it should be. The only way we can get things to the point where it's to the place that it should be is we're going to have to first deal with things the way they are. The reality of things the way they are. All right. And how are we going to deal with the reality of the things the way they are is we're going to have to first care. All right. Anytime you want to get a solution to a problem, you have to first start off by caring about the problem. And from what I've noticed, there are a lot of people that mediocrely care about things. They care enough to complain about it. But from what I've seen here online is that I haven't seen a lot of people that care enough to do something. All right. I'm still waiting on Anonymous. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on y'all, baby, to see what y'all gonna do. All right, because I see a lot of videos and stuff like that, but I ain't see y'all did shit. Okay, I'll just keep it real. All right. We gonna get off of them, Profane. They doing the best they can, Profane. But see, the thing about making legendary movements is first of all, if you're doing something that is right and it's good and it's productive, you shouldn't have to hide. These masks, wearing these masks says a lot, okay? People wear masks that want to hide something, okay? And so these masks, wearing these masks, it kind of brings a reproach on the purpose. Another thing that I myself am a little leery about is the fact that, one, that they're wearing the anonymous, they're wearing the mask. That says that people are being very either cowardice or perhaps hiding something that they're doing wrong, or they feel in some type of way that it's wrong. And another thing, when I looked at their motto, we do not forgive, we do not forget. Not forgetting and not allowing things to just, well, you know, if it happens, it doesn't. That, you know, not forgetting, that's a good thing. I could kind of see that as a good thing. But we will not forgive, that to me says that there's some anger, and that there is an element of evil there. And when I say evil, I mean there's something not good about that. All right. Because in order to bring about lasting, legendary type of change, that lasting legacy, there has to be an element of love. All right. It has to be an element of dealing with the situation realistically. Okay. And realistically, if you do something that's wrong, you're going to want somebody to forgive you. See, when you're making legendary movements, you understand and know that you have, as a leader, you have to give and dish out that you want to receive back in. All right. It's called sowing and reaping. So if you're sowing or dishing out unforgiveness, guess what? That's what you're going to get back, baby. That's what you're going to get back. All right. And that's real shit. So we're going to get off of anonymous. Matter of fact, we're going to have a whole another segment, broadcast concerning anonymous, because I have yet to see anything positive that they are doing. Matter of fact, they made one video, and in the video they're claiming to, it was kind of a response to my petition to them of what they're going to do positive. And in that video, see, this is what I mean by how it has that, still has that lining of evil in it. Because at the end, they said, never stop. At the end of the video, they had all this, you know, skateboarding and people running around and doing and do what you, they were trying to encourage people, just do what you always wanted to do and what you dream. And it was like, you know, purposeless stuff, you know. And I'm saying to myself, how is this a response to me saying, when are y'all gonna do something positive? See, they didn't even understand that. That's not being positive because you dared and risk your life jumping down a mountain or whatever the hell was in that video, which is so ridiculous. Then at the end of it, they said, never stop being foolish. I said, now, I know y'all was trying y'all best to, you know, create a video about doing something positive. I said, but at the end, it said, never stop being foolish. The word foolish implies that you are doing something that don't make sense, that has no value, that's wrong. So to tell people, so-called encouraging them to do stuff that don't make no sense, well, that defeats the whole purpose of trying to do something positive. It just makes no sense. It just don't make no sense, baby. Out of my website, and I told some of the anonymous members that this occurred. They plumb ignored that. They claiming that they're doing some positive things, but they plumb ignored that. So anyway, we're gonna get back on. So what I want to know is, who cares? If anonymous don't care, that's fine. But I'm on here online trying to find out where the people that really care, that's the movers and shakers, that really want to do something about the problems that we're facing in our society. I'm looking for the doers. I'm looking for, and another thing in one of the videos they made, it say, we are the 99 percenters, and bragging about being the 99 percenters. Okay, well, hun, you being a 99 percenter is all good, and I'm sure you're happy about that. For what reason, I have no clue. Because 99 percenters represent people that are very mediocre, and people that aren't really they're not making any difference in our society. This is why wealthy people consider them as a 99%, because the majority of people will conform and conform to nothingness and be happy with doing nothing. So if you're proud about being the 99 percenters, well, that speaks for itself. As always, I just say, keep it real or take your ass back to fantasy land.